Hello, Facebook. Good afternoon. Dave Thompson here. And you might see that outside it kind of looks a bit like the apocalypse, don't you think? Like, don't you reckon? How dark is it? It's not even 5 in the afternoon. Um, Anyways, we've got a big storm. We've got like an 8-day storm heading our way. It's about to move in, hence the darkness. But what I wanted to speak about today is something that's actually really exciting me. We just had a book writer join us for the online intensive coming up 12th to 18th April, and absolutely thrilled with what this person is presenting. And I won't go into too many details about the specifics of their book, but rather the nature of what they're doing is just remarkable. I'm just like, that's exactly what it's about. It's about making money and changing the world at the same time. It's really, if you're a spiral dynamics student, spiral dynamics nerd, you might know level 5 is the entrepreneurial level. It's the level of capitalism. And level 6 is the level of community, of doing what is good for the greater good. And what this book writer is doing is combining both. So this person operates in an industry where the current industry practice is a bit dumb. It's pretty slow. They kind of wait for the client to have a problem and then they solve the problem. They're not really super interested in prevention. Um, but what this person has done is they're presenting uh, a way to make more money and help the end client. So it's this situation where everyone wins. It's a win, it's a win, it's a win. It's a win-win-win situation. And for me, that's exactly what this is about. That's why we write books. The people coming to us, they have ideas, they have solutions that are win-win-win outcomes for people in different industries. And I'm just absolutely thrilled because it's hitting all the things. You know, it's a fact of modern life. You have to be able to make money from what you're doing, but at the same time, you don't want that to be at the expense of others. So I wanted to share with you a little bit about how I would frame up a book like that, or what would be the nature of that sort of book, because I know ROI is a question that people often ask about. I just want to speak to that for a moment. So if you've got an idea or a methodology or something that solves people's problems, and it's a sequence or a set of steps or a process, uh, what you want to do in the book that you produce, if that's where you do want to go, is remember the book is a top of funnel piece, right? It's often an introductory piece. It's a piece that someone is, if they're coming across your work for the first time, that you can hand to them and go, here, read this. This is a statement of what we're about. This is about our philosophies. Explains the problem to you. That you'll be educated on what the actual situation is. Now, in a book like this, we often call it, you want to give people a taste. You don't necessarily want to laden it with research and heavy scientific information and laden it with details and weigh it down, okay? Because the actual research, the Barnes and Noble research, shows that people are reading shorter books these days. In fact, the ideal size book is about 100 pages. You're most likely to get your book read if it's 100 pages. And I think that's got something to, the reason for that is because of the speed of modern society and how fast people are. And people don't have time to read a book cover to cover. And certainly many people don't have an inclination to read a book cover to cover unless they are an avid book reader or like highly motivated. So the way we approach books, especially for the entrepreneur or the coach or the expert or the speaker, um, well, let me just back up for a second. We always say my number one thing is say what needs to be said, not more and not less, right? So if you've got a lot to say it. If you can say it succinctly. But certainly, if you can just get the taster across, I think that's a really good way to go about it. 150 pages, you can read that on an interstate flight. It's very, very readable, very, very consumable, very, very accessible. It's a big thing that we're about is how do you get the information? It's one thing to put it in a book, but then you need to get that information from the book into the person. So we're always thinking about that. How can we make it accessible to the person reading? And so in a book like what this book writer is about to do, there's a couple of things that you want to do. You want to explain the problem that you're solving, because oftentimes people won't even know they've got a problem. In a previous video, I spoke about how I didn't even know that the root canal that I had in my tooth in 2008, I didn't even know that was a problem until I read books about it. So that's the first one. Now, the second thing that you want to do in the book is demonstrate how your idea, your solution, solves that problem. And you might want to use case examples, case studies, success stories. Give people a demonstration, give them a story of how you've been able to solve that problem and really awaken them to the possibilities. Because remember, a lot of people are just out there living their life, doing their thing, don't know they have a problem. And if they do know they've got a problem, they don't know that it's actually solvable. Or they're not aware of how big of an issue it is. They don't know the consequences that it's causing for them. So you really need to awaken people and go, this is, did you realize that you're doing X and this is creating A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, Y results in your life? That's a pretty big cost. So a big part of this sort of book is awakening people. And then the kind of end result that you want is when people read your taster book, is for them to go, wow, well, I've been educated, I've been awakened, I get it, and this person knows what they're talking about. And I'm going to give them a call, or I'm going to follow them on Facebook, or I'm going to subscribe, or I'm going to join their course, or I'm going to book in for a call with them because now I know what my problem is. I've established that this person has the solution. And remember, here's a cool thing. You ever heard this one? That if someone else can articulate your problem better than you can articulate it yourself, you will unconsciously credit the person that articulated your problem with the solution. Think about that. So that's what you want to do in your book. If you can articulate this person's problem better than they can even understand it themselves, they're going to unconsciously credit you with being the expert and being able to solve it, even if you don't, even before you've presented solutions. So think about that. So explain the problem, demonstrate that you can solve the problem, use case studies, use examples, and awaken, enlighten, and then invite them to take the next step. Those, to me, are the three ingredients for a really successful book that is designed as top of funnel to bring people in and take them and lead them to the next step. That's all I've got to say about that, guys. Armageddon through this storm is coming in soon. If you want to join us in the next book writing intensive, we are about to start kicking off. The pre-work starts pretty soon. The intensive week is the 12th to the 18th of April. That's the week where we get focused. That's where the energy raises up. We will be joining together with an awesome, dynamic, inspiring bunch of humans who are going to write their book in a week. You get my support, you get my team support. The fourth time we run the online intensive event. Will be the 25th time that we've run a Write Your Book in a Week program. I'm going to put the link below if you want to check out all the details and you've got a book that you want out and it's time and you want to get it done and this message has vibed with you. If you're like, yeah, I like that philosophy, then jump on, check it out. We'd love to see you in the group. But for now, I'm going to get back to getting some things to do to help get some more people's books out in the world. Thanks for stopping by. Take care, and I'll see you soon.